Story 1. I've been watching her for 8 weeks now. 8 weeks of evenings spent parked 2 blocks away, engine off, headlights dimmed. I know her schedule, her coffee order, what she wears, where she parks. I'm careful, never close, always unseen. My name doesn't matter. I'm not a person anymore. I'm a fixture, a silent presence in the background. She doesn't know I exist. That's perfect. It began innocently, a familiar face, a spark in the grocery store. She was fixated on an old paperback thriller I also loved. Our hands brushed. She smiled. Maybe I imagined it, but from that moment it felt like destiny, like the universe aligned 2 halves. Then I started going to the bookstore at the same time. She was always inside. I pretended to browse. From my coat collar I noted Rachel, long dark hair, pale skin, scar on left wrist. Bookish, eyes fearful, lips almost always pressed tight. I smiled once, brief, polite. It made her look away. That stung. Suddenly she was inside my mind, occupying every waking thought. Not to possess, no, just to watch, to know her. I created coincidences, random meetups at the cafe. She once asked if I liked her scarf. I said, I like it because you made it look good. She blushed, nodded, left. When I followed her home, I took mental note of the apartment. 3rd floor, green door, small balcony with orphan plants. The next day I placed a yellow sunflower seed in her mailbox. A note, you grow beautiful things. No signature. She ripped it up. Good, she reacted. At night I set recording devices across the street. A small camera in a fake vent, others hidden in trash cans. I watch her leave for work in the morning. I watch the dishes being done. I watch the way she drags her fingers across her lips late at night, staring at a wall. No idea if she's aware of the screens in her life that are mine too. 8 weeks of observations, I began to reach out. Digital murmurs. I created an anonymous Instagram account, shadowobserver_27. I followed her, curated posts referencing gentle places, quiet cafe, rain on glass. She liked one. The first like, my heart thundered. Messages followed. Nothing explicit, just lines of poetry. Do you ever feel watched by kindness? She replied. 2 hearts. Then silence. But every day she checks it. I joined her yoga class disguise style. She enters the studio quietly, sets her mat facing the window. I position mine diagonally. During a breathing exercise, my thigh brushes hers softly. She jolts, doesn't look, but I felt her tremor. I'm building a relationship, her life and mine merging. I have the key prints, her morning glass of water, her exhale, her twitch when she reads a sad email. One night as she sleeps, I watch her through a night vision camera from her balcony. Her eyelids flutter. She curses in her sleep. I listen. She calls a name I don't know. Could be past. Could be me soon. I slip a note under her door. I know your nightmare. She tears it up and chases the pieces with her boots. Another reaction. Now she's looking for me. On the street, turning down halls, glancing over. I see her on the phone, talking to someone new. I feel someone out there keeping pace with me. She sounds scared. I bite back guilt. Only because mine feels good. I walk by her apartment door one afternoon, not in a car for a change, to gaze at a writing pad I left on her stoop earlier. It's torn. I brush it off. At 3 a.m., heart pounding, I send a voice message through Instagram. A whisper. You are not alone. I remember your laugh at the bookstore. Then I retract the message before it's delivered. The next night, she pauses at her front door and stares out into the street. No lights, no cars. Just the breeze through her hair. She smiles nervously, shivering. I'm still watching across the street. At 2 a.m. 2 nights later, her door swings open. She steps outside. I see her face in the amber street lamp. Pale, eyes glazed, breathing shallow. She stands, then steps into the darkness. I drive around and find her. Pale gown, barefoot, looking up at the night sky as if waiting. I park at a distance. She stands until the breath vanishes. Then she walks home. I watch her enter, then sit right in the doorway and do nothing. I've started leaving things, small, vital objects. By her door, a fallen leaf, a thank you note clipped to a book page, a pressed flower. She picks them up, glances around. Her eyes search my street. I smile inside. My map of her life is now deeply sketched, knowing her pain, her smallest habits. I've even purchased a spare key from the management office using a fake letter claiming I'm locked out. I slipped it into her mail under the name Her Admirer. Stern but kind. I only use it once, just once, to step inside, look around, absorb. I straighten a crooked pillow. I align her mug handle with the table. I leave a small mist of lavender in the air. I hear her heart around the corner. She doesn't know I'm inside. She leaves for a moment. I press my hand to her folding chair. I inhale. Then I slip out. I lock the door behind me. I broke in again, third time. This time to install a small mirror shard behind a vase on her bathroom shelf. It reflects angles of her bedroom doorway, dark spots that shouldn't exist. At night, I'll watch her in both screens, direct camera, mirror. She whispers while brushing her hair. I can't sleep. The mirror behind me picks up another presence. Dark figure stepping just at edge, never fully. My reflection merges with the shadow. She turns, eyes searching. Stops. The whisper, I'm here. I'm done watching from afar. Tonight I enter her apartment while she sleeps. I observe again. I note every imperfection, her unblinking gaze in sleep, her scar twitching. I lean close enough to touch. Cold skin, faint pulse. I leave behind one last thing. A locket with 2R already known for me, etched inside. As I slip away down the hall, I hear her gasp. I don't look back. The next day she bolts her door. She stops breathing when someone walks in the hallway. I change my face on camera, different hair, cap, just to pass on her street. She flinches. Now she dismisses me first with a glance full of fear or contempt, but still looks. One evening she drops her phone the way I once dropped letters. Face up. I scoop it up, hand it to her. She stares. Then she whimpers and pulls it back like burning. I sense her unraveling. Her nights longer, her eyes heavier. But she's awake. Every moment spent left me an imprint in her life. One week I slip back into her bedroom, step into the mirror reflection I installed. The mirror grows fog. It swallows my figure. It waits for her when she comes to check. She stares. We meet face to face in the glass. She sees me. I see her terror. I've waited for this. She backs away, brushing shards of mirror off the shelf. I slip out, but she doesn't leave the apartment again. I'm writing this from a hotel room across town, anonymized and still wired in my stomach. My old spot on the block is gone. She left, moved away with her guards and cameras. I no longer watch, too painful. I sometimes look at her social profile. She's safe, maybe fearful, but she posted again. Her posts are short, clerical. Taking time, no pictures. But I am still there, watching the shadows behind her selfies. A presence in pixels. I was her watcher. Now I'm her ghost. The story closes with a whisper. You felt watched, and you were, but now you follow her. In her healing, in her silence. You no longer call her Raven. You don't call her anything. You just are her shadow. Story 2. It started on a Tuesday. I came home late from work, exhausted. My apartment was dark, quiet, just the way I'd left it. Except for a note on my kitchen counter. Folded in half, pale yellow paper. No envelope, just my name, Nina, written in perfect cursive. You look beautiful in blue today. I froze. I hadn't worn blue in over a week. But yesterday, I'd worn a navy blazer. Not today. Still, the handwriting was neat, old-fashioned, feminine, familiar. I lived alone. My doors were locked. My windows, too. No signs of entry. I told myself it was a prank. Maybe a neighbor with a key, though no one had one. Maybe my landlord? Still, my chest tightened in that instinctual way. Something was wrong. The next morning, another note was tucked under my bathroom mirror. You hum off-key in the shower, but I love it. I hadn't told anyone I sing in the shower. It's not even loud, just a nervous habit. I tore the note in half and flushed it. Day 3, there was a note inside my fridge, taped to the milk carton. Drink expired milk and I'll be upset. You're better than that. I didn't drink the milk. Instead, I called the cops. They found nothing. No prints except mine, no forced entry, no hidden cams. They asked if I'd been sleeping well, if I'd been seeing anyone. Their eyes told me what they didn't say out loud. They didn't believe me. The notes kept coming, always short, always affectionate. You should call your mother. I like the way your fingers danced while writing that grocery list. Don't forget your umbrella. Rain tonight. The last one was on my pillow. It hadn't rained, but it did later. Just like he said. Now I wasn't just terrified. I was being watched in real time. I scoured the walls, lights, vents. I even disassembled my smoke detector. Nothing. I moved my bed to the middle of the room, slept with the lights on, slept with a knife under my pillow. That's when I got the first threatening note. Don't try to move your bed again. It belongs by the window. I want to see you. I dropped the note like it burned me. It was taped to the inside of my eyelid mask, the one I wear to block light. He had been in my room while I slept. Close enough to touch my face. Close enough to place something over my eyes. I bought a camera, one of those motion sensor nanny cams. Tiny, hidden in the bookshelf, facing my bed. It worked for one night. On review, I saw myself toss and turn in bed, and at 2:44 a.m., the screen glitched. Just a flicker. Then suddenly I was facing the camera, wide awake, eyes open, smiling. But here's the thing. I don't remember that. And my pajama top was inside out in the morning. I never wear it that way. 2 days later, I started smelling something odd, like wet paper and cheap cologne. It came from my closet. I opened it carefully. Nothing unusual, except my winter coats were hung backward, all of them. And behind them, on the wall, was a hole, maybe 6 inches across, covered with cardboard and tape. I pulled it open. Behind the wall was a crawl space, and a single pillow, a toothbrush, candy wrappers, and a small stack of yellow paper. Empty notes, waiting to be written. I moved in with a friend, told the landlord I needed repairs done, never returned. My friend Julia had a small spare bedroom, safe, bright, normal. For a few nights I slept. Then one morning she handed me something. It was a folded piece of paper, yellow, slipped under the front door. I don't like sharing you. Julia thought it was a joke from an ex. I knew better. He had followed me. One night I woke up to whispering. My room was empty, but I felt cold breath at my ear, and on the wall behind my bed was a new note, taped above my headboard. I watched you breathe all night. I'm so glad you're still mine. I told Julia everything. She called the police. They searched, found nothing, except the building's rooftop access door had been open. We don't know how long he'd been up there, watching us. I started documenting everything, took pictures of the notes, posted them online. A thread on Reddit, a Facebook post, TikTok. Most people didn't believe me, but someone did. A girl named Lex messaged me, said she used to live in the same apartment I had 2 years ago. She left because of the same thing, notes, surveillance, being watched. She said she even filed a restraining order against a man named Elliot Granger, an ex-tenant who'd been caught living in the walls of multiple units across the city. He'd vanished before trial. Armed with Lex's info, I begged my landlord to let me into the maintenance basement of my old apartment building. He reluctantly agreed. The basement was cluttered with broken appliances, rusty tools, and a pile of cushions in the corner. And on the far wall, dozens of notes, taped, nailed, glued. All about me. Today she ate toast. She forgot to lock the door. I forgive her. Her laugh is too rare. I'll fix that. Nina is mine. Each one dated, logged, each one written in the same pen. I live in a new apartment now. Different city, different job. I keep the lights on, sleep with pepper spray and a hammer. The notes stopped. Until today. This morning in my mailbox, no stamp, no address, just a folded yellow paper. You cut your hair. I love the curls, but I'll learn to love this too. I dropped it, looked up. Someone across the street ducked behind a bus stop. I can't run again. So I'm writing this, in case something happens. If he finally decides the notes aren't enough anymore. If he finally steps out of the shadows. Story 3. It started with a voicemail from an unknown number. No message, just breathing. Soft, rhythmic, close to the mic. I deleted it, assuming it was a prank. Wrong number. Then I got another. 3:18 a.m. Same number. This time I heard a click and a faint shuffle, like footsteps on carpet. Still no voice, just breathing. I blocked the number. It called again the next night, from a new one. The fourth voicemail changed everything. It started with a quiet crackle. Then I heard myself, breathing, snoring faintly. Then the sound of a drawer sliding open. Then louder, unmistakable, the click of my bedroom door closing. I shot upright, checked everything. Front door, locked. Windows, closed. No signs of forced entry. I lived alone. No pets. No one had a key. The calls came nightly. Different numbers, same sound quality, same audio file precision. They weren't phone mics. It was better than that. I tried recording myself sleeping. Played the footage back in the morning. Ain't nothing unusual until 2:58 a.m. In the footage, I'm sleeping peacefully. But the voicemail that night? Me saying half asleep. No, not the closet, followed by a low chuckle. Not mine. One night I set a trap. Placed a stack of empty beer bottles against my closet door. Tied a bell from my bike to the knob. 2 o'clock a.m. Nothing. 2:45 a.m. Still. I must have dozed off. Next morning, all the bottles were still upright. Bell untouched. But I had another voicemail. This time a whisper. Nice try. I went to the cops. Gave them the numbers. The voicemails. They traced 2 numbers to burner phones. No useful data. Suggested I was being pranked. Told me to get a camera. I did. Bought the best I could afford. Installed motion sensors. Night vision. Night 1. No alerts. But another voicemail came in at 3:02 a.m. On the 7th night, I watched the live security feed on my phone. Not 2:57 a.m. I was asleep. 2:58 a.m. Static. Not full distortion, just the bedroom camera. The others were fine. At 3:01 a.m., the camera came back on. Nothing moved. I was still asleep. Then the voicemail came through. A new sound, a music box, distant, haunting, off-key. I don't own a music box. I set up a second camera, different angle, sync the clocks. That night, I got a voicemail of me mumbling in my sleep. Don't lock the door tonight. When I woke up, my bedroom door was wide open, and the bolt was still slid into place, on the inside. I left town, drove to a motel 40 miles away. Checked in under a different name, slept with the lights on. No calls that night. But the next morning, taped to my windshield was a sticky note. The snoring's quieter here. I threw up in the parking lot. I stopped sleeping, started drinking. The voicemails changed. Now they were just footsteps, creaking closer, then stopping. Then my voice, panicked, saying, please, don't. Then silence. I moved apartments, new city, new SIM card, no social media. 3 weeks of peace. Then, 2 nights ago, a voicemail came in at 2:44 a.m. My voice? He's in the room, he's... Static. Then another voice, familiar now. Almost done recording you. I finally checked the metadata of one of the audio files. GPS embedded. Latitude, longitude. It led back to my old apartment. I went back, numb, dead inside. The building manager let me in. The new tenant had found something odd in the attic crawl space. A cot, food wrappers, an empty voice recorder, old phone batteries. And on the wall, written in black marker, he talks in his sleep. I listen. I'm writing this from my friend's house where I've been crashing. It's 2:56 a.m. right now. My phone buzzed. No caller ID. A voicemail. I'm too scared to listen, but I know what it says. I know it's me, saying something I haven't said yet, because he's still recording, still watching, waiting for me to sleep again.